There are countless ways to manage money, such as cutting back or hustling to earn more. But some people have cracked the code with a strategy that might sound surprising. So while you have some people out here always trying to show off, others are flipping things around and intentionally acting broke. And it's not just a mindset, it's a power move. So if you're ready to think outside the wallet, here's why pretending to have less can help you gain more. Number one, you're forced to prioritize what really matters. When you shift your mindset to acting broke, you will immediately stop focusing on appearances and start getting clear on what really matters rather than what society says you should want. So in other words, you'll become much more selective about what you spend money on, and you'll find that things like new clothes, new gadgets, or keeping up with trends fall off your radar because you're now thinking long term. And with this change in thinking, you'll see money not just as a way to buy more, but as a tool to build a more stable future. The looking broke approach also stops the cycle of buying things to look successful, which can eat up a large amount of money. Instead, you'll ask yourself, is this purchase necessary, and does it actually add value to my life? And by doing this, you'll naturally start to cut out unnecessary expenses without feeling deprived. And the more you embrace simplicity, the easier it becomes to save, and you can then put more energy and cash into goals that bring actual fulfillment. Also, one of the most underrated benefits of looking or acting broke is that it takes away the pressure to meet other people's expectations. When some people see you living modestly or financially cautious, they might stop expecting you to constantly keep up or participate in expensive outings, gifts, or purchases. And by doing so, you can take yourself out of that exhausting rat race where you're always on the lookout for the next best thing. And this is especially important if you've ever felt that your spending habits are influenced by the people around you. And you might even notice that some people might even stop suggesting costly plans because they assume that you're not interested, which is okay. And obviously, this doesn't mean that you don't spend money, but when you do, it's on your terms and you don't feel pressured. Acting broke can also build discipline around spending. And the beauty here is that you're not imposing strict rules or putting yourself on some harsh budget. Instead, you're cultivating a mindset where you ask yourself, do I need this or do I just want it? And this is something that everyone should really put into practice because this approach can lead to more mindful spending where every dollar has a purpose. And over time, you might realize that you don't even miss the things that you've decided to skip. The goal is really to feel in control and not restricted. And once you've mastered it, it becomes second nature. And when you live as if your funds are more limited than they are, it becomes so much easier to contribute to your savings account on a regular basis. Acting broke can also help you identify your true spending habits. So in other words, when you're not trying to keep up with others, you get to see where your money naturally goes, which can reveal what's essential and what's just been extra fluff in your budget. Many people have no idea how much they're actually spending on a weekly or monthly basis until they start tracking their purchases. And adopting a broke mindset gives you an automatic way to do this. Because before buying anything, you're forced to ask yourself, would I still purchase this item if I had less money? And the way you answer this question can quickly reveal the spending categories that are most important to you. For example, maybe you love going to cafes and bookstores, but you hate how much you're spending on subscriptions and clothes. By acting broke, you can quickly realize which expenses you're willing to give up and which ones you'd rather keep. And once you have this understanding, you can then build a sustainable budget that reflects your true priorities. Adopting a broke mindset also forces you to get creative with your spending. So instead of throwing money at every possible problem, you start finding free and low-cost ways to meet your needs and wants. And so that we're all on the same page, this does not mean sacrificing quality of life. It's about thinking outside the box so that you're able to live well on less. So instead of buying everything brand new, you might trade or swap with a friend or explore secondhand options for clothes or furniture. And rather than paying for entertainment, you might discover free local events or start hosting potlucks at your house. The bottom line is that you learn to appreciate what you already have and you begin to see opportunities to save everywhere because you've trained yourself to be a frugal person. And by living this way, you're not just saving money, you're also reducing waste and becoming more self-reliant. And in the end, this can lead to more savings, less stress, and a more satisfying lifestyle.